What's going on, people? You know who it is. It's your favorite cousin.
And it's your boy, the KYD.
And we are the Bare Nigga Truth Podcast. And we are here today with a special cousin of ours, and we're going to get all in this business. Cousin, please introduce yourself.
Yes, I am General Mike Payne. I am the leading general of the original Black Panther Militia.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. All right, well, definitely, man. We got him in here today. We're going to talk. These past few years, there's been a lot going on, especially dealing with black people, the culture, how we're perceived in the media, police, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So, first thing, before we really get into it, let's go back a little bit.
All right.
Let us know how you got to where you at, and I want you to start off with the Charlie Falk commercial that we was talking about.
Go from the way beginning, right? We gonna go there.
Yeah.
So of course I came here with the military.
Okay.
All right. I never intended on staying in the military. I came to get out of the circumstance, of course, I was in.
Okay.
So I said, my buddy told me, he said, hey, what else you doing? Look where your friends are going. They're getting locked up. This, that, and the third is happening. People dying. So he said, let's go in on the buddy system, the buddy system or whatever.
Yeah, familiar with that.
Yeah, so, I decided to do it. At first, I was listening to, Trey's daddy from Boys in the Hood said there ain't no place for no black man in the military. So I was like, nah, I ain't doing it. Okay. But, I looked at my surroundings and figured that, it might be a good pull for me for the moment. Okay. So I did that. And when I got here, I started pursuing music and acting and things like that. And one thing while I was doing that, and I know, everybody clowned my commercials, right? Yeah. They clowned them. They was a little corny, whatever. But
it was a little bit of hate, though. Like,
oh, yeah, it was.
It was. Joint too, man. Like,
yeah.
I rap.
But I get it because I was actually making money off of it. You see what I'm saying? So to be one of the only artists that was making money, legitimate money off of music. You see what I'm saying? Because it's hard in VA. Yeah, musically, definitely. It's really hard to get out and do different things. So when the opportunity came, I took it, and I was able to get nice checks and do videos and things like that. It ended up putting me on tour, opening up to bigger artists, and then I landed a movie deal that ended up going in every Walmart all across America, Best Buy, all that stuff. So I mean, I felt I did pretty good regardless. You know what I'm saying? But definitely. It was a clown type video, or commercial. I get it, but a lot of people didn't see all the stuff that came from it. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was well worth it. So
everybody got to start somewhere.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So you want me to keep going all through it?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, because the whole thing is while I was on the tours and doing the different things, I ended up talking to Sony and a few other different labels, and I noticed they had a little. I mean, they weren't really pushing, but they let you know there was an agenda of kind of where they wanted you to be, what they wanted you to speak about. And one thing I did find out that was true, and they said be one-dimensional.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I like doing a lot of different things. I like, I like the club sound. I like the, the girly music. This, that, and something for the street. Right. I like doing different things. I might want to do a pop record.
Right.
Yeah.
But they explained to me something that was really important I never forgot. And that's to all the artists out there. They said it looks like you're throwing stuff at the wall just to see what's going to stick. Nobody knows who you really are. And when you divide your audience like that, and in our mind as artists, we're always thinking, well, I got something for everybody.
Yeah, I can do it.
But when you look at it from their perspective, you're bringing somebody in that may listen to your pop sound. Then you might bring another person in for that same concert that listens to street music. And then so they're all hearing different things. They're like, this ain't what I paid to hear. You know what I'm saying? I didn't pay for this ticket to hear this. I thought he was a street rapper. I thought he was a pop star. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody's confused. Now, who is this guy? Who am I listening to? I'm not coming again. And that's how they looked at it. Okay. So they said you have to pick that lane. Pick the lane you're best at. So it was one of those things. Yeah. So I started kind of doing more of the LL Plies type music. I was doing that. That was doing very well for me, and that's what led me into the movie role.
Okay.
So I ended up doing that, and a little stuff for the soundtrack, but I noticed the community and the different things. Rap started to change.
Yeah.
Stuff started to switch a little bit, and I noticed, the kids and how they were perceiving the stuff that was being given to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was just like, man, I kind of don't want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't. So I would help out and do little stuff for the community. Like, I would see different people out, and I just walk around and help out, you know, where I could.
Okay.
But I then started seeing gaps of, you know, stuff, voids in the community of stuff I thought I could help with. So I wrote a song called Black on Black.
Okay.
And that song in there spoke about, dang, you know, what if I could bring the Panthers back, black on black on black? You know, it was this whole thing I was going through, and I was like, man, what if I could do that?
Yeah.
You know, so that's when I started my research and looking to see what I could possibly do in the city of or in the state of Virginia, and also to globalize. You know, so I was like, man, you know, what can I possibly do? And that's when I found this next journey.
Okay, so the music you made actually
Influenced
sparked
life.
the Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like I guess like the hip hop of the '80s, man. You know, it revolutionized stuff and got the ball moving for
Right.
different things and you know,
Yeah.
different people.
Correct.
Okay. Definitely, man. I like that, man.
Yeah, because I like to rap about, I like to always rap about my real life. You know, I'm never one of them dudes that wanted to just do stuff and I never, you know, contributed that in life. I've never even like listening to rappers like that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, that's me though. You know, I'm not the WWE type guy. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I don't like that. I like, you know, because I don't feel you should lead anybody in a direction that you didn't even risk your life for.
Right.
You know, yourself.
Right.
That don't make sense to me. You know, so I mean, if you did them things, oh no, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Oh no, I'm good. Yeah, thank you. I just feel like if you know, if you're gonna talk about the dope game and the trap game or whatever, at least make sure you've risked your life. You know, and you actually live that before you tell a million kids to go in that direction and they could come out and be some big old kingpin or whatever you saying they can be like you when you ain't even did it. Like that's crazy, you know. So yeah, I always try to keep things, you know, 100%.
And also, speaking on that, that thing about staying in your lane, you know, I think that is impossible because each individual is diverse. You know, there's not many out here that's just one-dimensional. Well,
see, they're saying like hide it, almost like okay. So say you got like Snoop.
Right.
He's a good example. Snoop came out one way. After you do that and you get that fan base, then you can expand your fan base, do something different because you know now you got your core, your base, and you can always go back to that base.
Right.
But if you come out straight out and you ain't got the base. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They looking at you like, what you doing?
yeah.
Who is this guy?
Right.
They don't have no foundation.
Right.
Much.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's one thing I did take good from, you know, talking to the labels and things like that.
Okay.
And learning from that.
Yeah. Yep.
And so with that, so how long have you you know, at what year did you create the Panthers and how long have y'all been running, basically?
We started in really 2018 here in VA. We started 2018.
Okay, so it's fairly new.
Yeah, we've actually, you know, I mean, counting the time, you know, with all the paperwork and the waiting and all that. I mean, we've been here almost 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we've done a magnificent amount of work. You know, we go all the way to DC. We've helped with, you know, the Pamela Smith rape case, and you know that's going to the Supreme Court. You know, so we've done a lot. You know, we've done a lot. We're always in the city. We're always moving around. It's been a lot of work.
Okay, so I want to ask this also. I think I seen a video a few years back when y'all went to Capitol Hill. I believe when they did it was something about the amendments, the gun amendments.
Oh, what's that called? Ben Hill Day? Or no, that's not Ben. That's something in Atlanta. Lobby Day.
Okay,
yeah.
So
Lobby Day.
seen a video for that. You know, I seen the. I guess she was a news reporter, whoever. When she approached y'all, she looked. I don't want to say scared, but probably like, wow, like y'all were the only black people there. It looked like.
Close.
And,
yeah, close.
And you know, and it was like, you know, wow, like what was that experience like going there and doing that, you know, and being amongst the people?
It was really good, and the thing was like the perception they put out on the news was not what was actually there.
Okay.
The perception they put out, and we went 2 years in a row. The first year we went, everybody was just overly embracing. They were happy to see that everybody was there to fight for the same thing, which was to be able to carry your weapons and different things like that. So everybody was in favor of the Second Amendment, just really ready to, you know, build on that cause. The second time we went there, by then, the Proud Boys had came into play, and we got this on tape too. But the Proud Boys, when we first walked down the street, they walk by and throw a sign up, a little weird sign, and then they try to walk through us, but we told them it's not happening, so they had to walk around. So the police tried to keep us apart, but then the same guy comes back up the street. He said, "No, it's not like that, brothers. I love you guys. We love you." Proud Boy told us we love you.
He knew he couldn't show that disrespect. So
right, yeah. It wasn't gonna happen. And we kept our distance from them, they kept their distance from us, and I was cool with that. But he said that he wanted to possibly have a conversation, and what they say that they stand for ain't what they really stand for. We never had that conversation. But because I knew that would be a news clipping, a statement piece that they're gonna put out. The Black Panthers and the Proud Boys over here hugging or something. I just didn't want that look. You know what I'm saying? So you weren't gonna catch me talking to him. Right. Not there. I don't know if you want to call and set up something. I don't know, and you want to introduce who you are and all that, but you ain't about to get no whole headline off of me, hugging me on some fakeness. So I wasn't letting that happen.
Trump and Kanye type.
Right? It wasn't gonna happen.
Got you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So with that being said, how many different chapters of the militia is in existence?
Now, we don't give out a whole lot of numbers because of security.
Right.
But we do have international chapters, and we do have chapters all across the United States. So it's a nice amount. it's a nice amount. Right. Yeah, it's a nice amount. We're spread out pretty good.
Right. So would you say that this would be the rebirth of the original?
I won't say rebirth because out of respect for all the different formations, there's a lot of them. But we do. I'll put it to you this way, and this is just the honest truth. You have Panthers that are connected to the history. You have Panthers that are what are considered rogue.
Okay.
Now, just because they're rogue, and which means they're not connected to anything, they just decide to do something good for the community.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they're bad or that they're any less valuable.
Right.
Some of them do work out. Most of them don't because they don't have the elders. They don't have the the guidance. They don't have the rule settings. You know what I'm saying? So some of them end up fizzling out. But some are connected, some aren't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. When I got started, one thing I wanted to have is a connection, a bloodline or a lineage connection to 1966. That's what I personally wanted.
Right.
So that's what I reached for.
Right. So when it started originally in 1966, that was the whole thing was to protect the community. So they were kind of, what you say, rogue.
Well, no, right? Because they are the actual origination of origination. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the Malcolm X, the Martins, the whatever. Right. They came with something totally new, and they brought something and created something with Dr. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. They created something beautiful, and they felt that like Huey P. Newton used to say all the time, that he could identify most with Malcolm X. And he just took it to another level with the weapons and things like that. And see, one of the things that a lot of people get that's kind of a misconception is they concentrate on the weapons.
I was about to.
The Black Panther Party wasn't just about weapons. They had all type of programs and programs that are stolen by the government today that they started.
No, I'm glad you went there. Can you speak more on things that were taken from the Panthers?
Yeah, absolutely.
That they started. Like we know, some of us may know about like WIC.
Yeah.
The free lunch programs and things like that. When, to me it's amazing how, y'all have a negative stereotype around the name.
Right.
But a lot of the stuff that's happening with the government even, they've stolen.
Right.
And made it like it was their own.
Right.
And
you know what I mean?
That's been going on since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So definitely. So like, what other things out there other than like the WIC program
We had the what do you call it? The good gracious, the healthcare.
Okay.
You know, the free healthcare. We were giving free healthcare. You know, we were doing in the Breakfast Club that we get the free breakfast for the kids before, you know, because they did a study and found out, you know, kids that don't have nothing in their stomach, you know, can't concentrate as much. You know, they can't
Function
learn, they can't function.
school.
Yeah, and they
Right.
weren't getting no food. So they had these programs that were amazing, and they were feeding thousands and thousands of kids. The thing that's crazy is they felt that was such a threat that the FBI would order police to, even in Richmond, Virginia, will order police to come door to door and say that food is poisoned or that food had all type of whatever in it, and they would tell the parents, you know, don't send your kids there. They would send people to the stores to stump and mash up the food, and firebomb the places and do different things of that nature. So they thought by us doing that, it was such a threat, you know, because the Black Panther Party for self-defense, they were all about, you know, standing up for yourself and gun rights, because they were doing police patrols, basically, cop patrol. So we just did that last night. But yeah, so you know, they will watch to make sure the cops are doing their job correctly. You know, because cops are out here beating and shooting and doing whatever to the black people.
Still are.
Right, still are. And one thing they would do is follow the police around, make sure, you know, take the numbers and all that type of stuff they would do. And that was, you know, with that, it brought a stigma of them with the guns and things like that. So they showed off the better side of them, you know, and said, well, which that's not a bad side, but they showed up, you know, to the public.
Yeah.
So they showed off a different side and said, you know, look, we're doing these programs. We've got this, free healthcare, free this, free that. And that was to show the public, we're not just about running around with some guns and doing this, that, and the other. We actually feed and help the community.
Right.
And they didn't like that because they knew, wow, look what they're doing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
The people on y'all side. They knew that was going to be a problem.
And COINTELPRO, the whole point of that was to dismantle and disrupt and destroy any possible Black Power organization. Whether it was the family, the church, whether, you know, any of that. Anything where we congregated together and did these efforts to help and unite with each other, they would make sure they destroyed it.
Wow.
And they don't want to see any growth.
Nah.
You know, with us and in our neighborhoods or communities.
Correct.
You know, they did the same thing back in slavery. The slaves weren't allowed to congregate and talk amongst each other.
Nope, not without the overseer there.
Right. So they're trying to, you know, keep that at play and keep us stagnant. As long as they can keep us stagnant and keep us away from each other, we can't grow.
Right.
Because they know that we will take over.
Correct.
You know,
They fear that, at least.
Right.
You know, they fear it.
Right.
So they want to make sure that we don't.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
We on the way.
They can't stop it.
We on the way. We got to stop getting on our own way.
That's it.
That's a big
That's it.
issue.
That's it.
We get in our own way. It's almost like when we go, because we do this thing where we shut down these stores that disrespect our people. You know, I don't know if you've seen it, but
I actually seen a couple on.
Yeah,
one of them I just seen last night. I want to ask you about
okay. So these things happen, and the problem we have, people be like, well, yeah, open back up. Yeah, because people keep going. You know what I mean? When we tell people not to go to a certain place, we are hoping to God they just don't go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we cannot close a place if you're going to continue to support them. You know, and I know, you know, we do things out of convenience.
Yeah.
We got to stop that. You know, see, we're a different type of Black people now. Back in the 60s, there was a different type of Black people where they, as far as unity, they would stick together and they would do a certain thing like, you know, boycotts, and they would all support it. They would walk extra miles to go to this certain place so they don't have to frequent this one. Now, we kind of do whatever is basically self-preservation, which kills us. And you know, I ain't got no gas to be going way out here. I'm not gonna spend $2 extra to go here when I can go right here. I don't care. They ain't never did me wrong. But that's because we don't look at us like a village anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to look at it. If you do one of us wrong, you do all of us wrong. The Asians look at it like that. The Mexicans look at it like that. Why don't we look at it like that?
Exactly. They'll start messing with you in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we're brainwashed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I call it the
A lot
sickness.
about people, yeah.
Yeah.
Brainwashed. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
Speak on it.
So,
Yeah.
I had a question too. So, I understand you're the leader of a lot of things. So, when I want to make sure I got his name right, King Rick.
Yeah.
When he passed that down to you, say, you know what, I want you to run all of this. Now, are you responsible for everything like on the East Coast or
No, all
West
of it.
Coast? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to, and once again, certain things tend to get murky in the black community as always. I don't speak ill of anyone, in black organizations, but the whole situation with that is, the torch was passed. There was some undercover different things going on that, a retiree was still trying to command. So I separated.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I continued on what we've always been on.
Okay.
And it is what it is. To me, it's a sad situation. Because I never wanted that. But I'm completely about the people and about the movement. I'm not about myself. I'm not about there's nothing bigger than the movement. And when I see that things are interfering with the movement and it's more personalized, I must continue on with the movement because that's what it's about. So if we go through our history and our lineage, that's why we have the name Original Black Panther Militia, because our lineage is still connected and intact. It's the direct bloodline. If you go from 1966 with Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, Dr. Huey P. Newton, excuse me, and you have Michael McGee Sr., who started as a Black Panther Party member in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
All right, so he was there, and he was an actual member of, because they had them all over the United States, in different places, whatnot. They actually had to shut their unit down for a little while because of, just things weren't going right, and they had to resubmit. So they resubmitted, started back in 1973, and then they continued. They had to get permission, back from Oakland to start. So they started back, and he ran until everybody got pushed underground, I believe, in about 82. About 82, the FBI pushed a lot of the Black Panther Party members, through COINTELPRO underground. So when he did come back, he started the Black Panther Militia. So that's what happened all around the United States. Certain members from the Black Panther Party came back and started their different formations and things like that.
Okay.
So he came back, started the Black Panther Militia, and then off of him, that's where King Rick started the Original Black Panther Party. I ended up contacting them, like, from the previous story we were talking about. I contacted them, got the chapter started, and we were the first successful chapter out of branched off of him. We were the first successful chapter. We could mirror them, and yeah, thank you. And it was hard work. I was ended up being his second in command. And I always would speak his name like Malcolm X would Elijah Muhammad, in every speech. But so we would do these things, and I was in charge of recruitment, so I started recruiting chapters all across the United States. That was my job, and so then after that, we built a great thing, great thing, and then he passed the torch. I took over, he retired, and here we are today. And that's why we added militia to the name in honor and respect of Michael McGee Sr.
Okay, that's dope, man.
So, with that being said, as far as recruitment, if anyone's out there, watching this podcast now, and they want to, find information on recruitment, how would they go about doing that?
Oh, sure, you can call the number 757-214-2098. 757-214-2098. Or you can hit me up on Facebook, Mike Payne, MikePain. You can go on our actual Facebook group page, and it's give it to me. Black Panthers OBPM. So Virginia. So you can definitely hit that up, and everywhere else it's the Original Black Panther Militia. You can also
Instagram and all that.
Instagram, yeah. Okay. TikTok is OBPVA.
Okay.
You can also go on our website, theoriginalblackpanthers.com. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's really get into it.
Let's get into it. All right.
Burning me up.
Yes, sir.
Minute, you know what I mean?
Get it.
Okay. So, going back to what you said earlier about Black people now having a self-preservation and things like that. Basically only out for self at this point.
Right.
My question to you is, do you think that the civil rights movement, right, the movement itself, as in, let's integrate things like that. Now, I do understand, you do need allies on all sides.
Absolutely.
But do you think that hurt us more than help us with the fact that, now, and I'm sure you see the videos and stuff like that, places where we're not necessarily wanted, people are trying to force themselves in there. And I always believe, like, if you don't want my money, I'm going elsewhere.
Right.
I'm not going to force you to serve me or take my money or whatever. I'm leaving.
Right.
So do you think that may have played a part in the way people are now, like, oh, well, instead of me just leaving, I'm going to videotape it and let people know, but I'm still going to try to shop here and, make moves and stuff like that?
I think long term, it hurt us. Short term, it was a great idea. But long term, it killed us. What I think integration did was it robbed us of things we owned. You see what I'm saying? We had our own schools. They weren't in the greatest shape.
Everything.
We had everything, but it was run down, but it was ours. You see what I'm saying? When we integrated and did all these things and went to go to the white schools and the different things of that nature, yeah, cool. We might get what they considered was a better education. The better books, maybe more books, so each kid ain't got to share a book. They ain't got to read by candlelight and all that kind of thing. But we lost our own. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And now if you look at us in business and different things, it's so much harder for us to get things going in business because we don't own any of the manufacturing companies. We don't own any of the startup, like a lot of stuff we just don't have. We don't own. We gave it all away, trying to integrate and go to the other schools.
But that was their plan all along.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. But we fell into that trap. As as Martin Luther King, said, he felt he was leading us into a burning house at some point. So
that's a speech they don't really show too much.
I have a dream all day. Yeah.
Oh man. And so, also, I just went blank. Go ahead, bro. I just went blank that quick.
So, what else? Some pros and cons of your title as the general.
Pros and cons. Well, it's a whole lot on my shoulders. It's a lot to look after. I guess the cons is that sometimes even our own black people are afraid of us or feel a certain type of way or don't recognize who we actually are.
Right.
In the schools they don't teach who we are. They don't go by that. It's watered down if it is, and a lot of times we're confused with, whoever.
Right.
Just like like if it's the NFAC or something like that, they or just anybody in all black doing anything, they call them Panthers. You know what I'm saying? So, so if they're out there doing some weird stuff, you know what I mean, or just right? Because I've seen it before. You get a group out there, they didn't cuss the women out, and then now I'm out here, or you done promise somebody some money or something. Now I'm out here, and they looking at me like, hey, ain't you supposed to? Nah, I don't even know what are you talking about. You know what I'm saying? But they've confused it. The situation. So that's kind of a hard thing to deal with, and that becomes an issue every once in a while from time to time. So I mean, our life is in jeopardy. We don't get paid for this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't get paid to do it. We don't get nothing from it. Everything we get, we put right back out into the community. Okay. And that's why we show it on Facebook all the time. See, and that's another thing. You'll get the haters and the detractors, and some of the black people will come up to you and they'll get online. Well, if you really mean it and you're doing it out your heart, why you got to show it? You see what I'm saying?
Though? I think with that, man, it's like sometimes you do have to show it, even if it is from the heart, which a lot of times it is, you still have to show it, man, because that's the side that doesn't get shown.
Right.
It's like you'll show people getting killed all day.
Right.
You don't say, well, if you against it, why you ain't showing it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then it's like when you do stuff out of kindness and hopefully, you know, one kind act continues another one, it's like you're doing this to show you that there's still good things happening out here.
Right.
There's still good people who take care of the community, who look out, you know, and hoping, you know, it'll spark the brain of someone else. You know, you may have 7 haters, but one person may say, you know what?
Right.
I want to do something too.
Yeah, and that's what we want.
Way.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a good point because that's what we want. We want people to see and say, hey, let's do something. You know, it can be done.
Right.
We want to show that you can be the shining example that you can come from nothing at all, start something and build all of, not just in Virginia, but all across the United States. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work, but you can do it.
Definitely.
And we also like to show it so that people know that we're there for them. Because if they don't know, how do they hit us up for help?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? How do they figure it out? So we have to show these things. Also, when the money does come in, or you know anything, somebody gives a donation or something, we show them what we're doing with it. We're not government funded. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not government funded. We fund everything ourselves. Everything you see us doing, giving away free shoes and all that. We do that.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah, and I've seen the videos too, you know, y'all in the neighborhood. I think y'all went Huntersville.
Uh-huh.
And y'all was doing something with the kids. I think y'all giving like free books or book bags or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. But then I was like, you know, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I think I gave us some money to the kids too, just to, you know, show them.
We did a community cleanup. We pay the kids to clean up their own community.
That's what it was.
We pay them.
Yeah.
We pay the kids to pay them well.
Yeah.
Little 4-year-olds. We pay them well. They're making good. We pay them good, you know. But we want to teach them that it doesn't have to be a hood. It's not a hood. This can be a community as long as you take care of it.
That's what it is.
You know, and then you can actually make a good wage doing simple things, and you don't have to do these different things that's going to get you put in a cage. You see what I'm saying? So we try to show them all those things, and that's what we were doing with that. You know, and of course we'll contact, you know, because this is the thing now. You'll see the pastors come out and put on a little basketball game. Had the kids jumping up playing basketball all day. News 10 and Wave 3. All of them come out. You know. They don't come out for us, and that's why we also film it, because we have to be our own news. Because they want our image to stay at whatever they have it.
They want it to be tarnished.
They don't want to see that we're doing these good things. The same reason why they didn't want to see them breakfast programs and things going good. So when we do our initiatives in the community and things like that, they don't show up.
Nope.
Yeah,
It's basically word of mouth and the people coming out there, you know, and showing that love. So my next question is, what is your take on black crime, and how has it been weaponized to demonize our culture and our youth?
Black on black crime is it's a serious thing, but it's also I call it a loaded term.
I definitely agree with that.
You know, a lot of times people will look at me crazy if I tell them that technically black on black crime doesn't exist. They would look at me crazy.
That also. They look at me crazy.
Yeah.
They look
at me crazy. Yeah, you have to look at what is called propaganda. You know, if you go back since, I don't know, the beginning of time, even with, you know, Hitler and the Jews, things like that, propaganda was used first. If you go back to our time in Jim Crow, you know, people don't know Jim Crow was a entertainer. He's an actual person.
Oh wow.
You know, he was an entertainer, and he would dress up in blackface. And he would do these. His real name was Thomas Wright, and he would go out and do all these different things, you know, and buffoonery, and make black people look crazy and like, you know, a savage rapist and whatever else. That was his job. You see what I'm saying? So the propaganda has always been there. So what the news will do is, you know, they will keep using that term, black on black crime. Anybody in close proximity, that is impoverished and got this, that, and third going on, there's gonna be crime. You know, if the wage is low and everybody's sitting in poverty, hungry, you're gonna have crime. You're gonna have more crime. That's what's gonna happen. But when you see this in the white communities, the Mexican communities, or the Asian communities, you don't go around saying Asian crime in Mexico. You don't do that to them. So why you do it to us? Yeah, it's a thing that is we killing each other.
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. The thing that irritates me is we'll even have certain activists come out and say, you know, well, what are we gonna do about, you know, the black on black crime, you know, and they'll say it at a time when the police then did something bad to the people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are two different situations. That's like if I got cancer of the heart and you're gonna say, well, what are we gonna do about I don't know, high blood pressure or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are two different things. You know, yeah, they both need to be fixed, but they're two different things. And you have to realize why we have these situations. A lot of us as black people don't even know why we have black on black crime, as they, you know, quote it. You know, that you have to know the history and the hurdles and obstacles. If you don't know that, then you pissing in the wind. Right. You know, you have to know why our people are this way. So you can't fix something if you don't know what the issue is. You can't just say stop. You know what I'm saying? You can't just tell people stop and expect it to happen. That, you know, that doesn't work.
Right.
Definitely. And I know, man, like I said, I look at it as a thing that's used by media, man, to keep the negative perspective for black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because for some reason, I don't know if they get off on the fear of the angry black man or the angry black woman, you know,
It's
but that just seems
that
at the
bottom of the totem pole. It's to keep us at the bottom
and keep us fighting.
Hey, they don't, you know, magnify, you know, Asian on Asian crime or white on white crime. You know, they don't, you know, truly broadcast it.
And let's be honest, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's entertaining. If we were doing, you know, any type of thing, whether it's an album or, you know, even media, what you're doing, you know, the thing that gets the most views and thing is action, you know, or some type of, you know, quote, or, you know, something.
Something negative.
Yeah. It just works that way, you know. So it's like people will basically sell out for the views. It used to be for money. Now they do it for thumbs ups and hearts.
The attention now.
Yeah, emoji faces. Yeah,
Right.
Crazy, but you know, people do it, and you have to even look at. I've started to look at some of our entertainers like that as well, because you know what you're doing when you're putting out a certain message. You know, and you may save your cousin, you know, your immediate family. You may get them out of poverty. Cool, but you've just led maybe 100,000 others in a whole different direction.
Yeah.
So, you know, what means more to you? Yeah, you might have saved your 10, 20, maybe even 30, but you're still leading 100,000. It just baffles my mind. You know, we don't think about the village. You know, it's almost like a dope boy who comes out every holiday and gives out turkeys to the community. You see what I'm saying? Like, you've spent 364 days destroying the community, and on the one day you come out bringing out some turkeys, feeding the people. What sense that make?
Allowed me to do.
Yeah. You know, how does this work? You know, and people will come get them. Oh, thank you. You know, you remember Nino Brown?
Yep.
New Jack City.
Right. Handed out. And you know what you did the rest of that whole year?
Made the Carter, bro.
Right. Stop playing. Stop playing.
And he tried to say that one person, Pookie.
Yeah.
Clean yourself up, I'll give you a job.
I'll give you a job.
Working around the stuff that got you messed up.
Right.
Oh, man. So how do we go about protecting ourselves when it comes to Karens, police, others in the community? You know, because, like I said, you see these videos all the time. And I want to specifically speak on a video I saw last night that kind of got me, man. So I don't know if y'all seen it happen in Roanoke. And it was a lady.
Yes, I just saw it.
You know what I'm talking about? She went to the store to get the $20 back. Yeah.
Yep.
And big white dude, man, say 6 feet, about 300 pounds, came out and attacking her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we see this so much. You know, we see it with the big white dudes attacking the black woman. And then you see it on the flip side with the black males. You get the white females basically attacking us. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll call the police and say, oh, I fear for my life.
Right.
And it's like, you know, you see it so much, or you see the police harassing us, and it's like, and, you know, people say, oh, you just comply. And it's like, well, sometimes even if you do what's right, you're still wrong. Absolutely. And it's like, how do you go about protecting yourself in those kind of situations? Because obviously, videotaping it isn't helping.
Right.
Because people are still getting off and getting away with it. You know what I mean?
It's really it's a two-part answer to that, honestly. One, yeah, you know, you have to, I think one good thing is to, first of all, know your rights. Know the law.
Yeah.
At least bare minimum. You know the law.
Educate yourself.
Yeah, educate yourself. Know what they can and cannot do. Then if they do something that's not supposed to be done, that will get handled, you know, when it needs to be handled. You know, especially like traffic stops and different things like that. Them trying to search your car, whatever. But know those things. You know, teach your children, first of all, this ain't a game. This is not a game. You know, I know we into the games and going out partying, barbecues and whatever else, you know, chilling, and I get it. That's all fun. We need that. But we have to be serious and know that we can't just walk around like white people walk around. We can't do that. You know, we have a false sense of freedom. You know, to where it's like, oh yeah, we good. Like we could just go out here and just, you know, do as everybody else. We can't.
Yeah.
You know, we have to have our head right. You know, and I tell some of the brothers, you know, I know you smoking, you know, you drink. Keep your head right to where you can think straight, so you know what's going on. Don't give them no reason to do this, that, and the third. Don't give them that.
Yeah.
Don't give them nothing. You know, just be cognizant at all times and on a swivel, so that way they can't do nothing. And when you do have to do something, you're not now illegal. You see what I'm saying? Your mind ain't altered to where you pull out on them and do something, you're not illegal.
Right.
But first of all, yeah, definitely you know, learning the law and small things like that is one thing. Second, I think it is, you have to understand being armed.
I'm glad you went there.
You have to understand being armed. I know a lot of us, you know, have gotten into maybe for religious reasons they don't want to be, or maybe for you know, moral reasons they don't want to be. I get it, but I always tell people, guns don't just jump up and kill. You know what I'm saying? It's the person with the gun.
Yeah.
You know, it's the person. You know, it's almost like a teaching. You know, you got a book. It's not the book that's going to hurt the person. It's the person teaching it. If they teach it wrong or teach it, you know, in a certain way, it's going to destroy whatever. That's how things go. But with weapons, you have to protect yourself. Dr. Huey P. Newton said, you know, basically anybody that doesn't arm themselves is subject to slavery.
Right.
You know, they can do anything to you.
Yeah. Right.
You know, they're showing you they can. And the part that I must say, just to speak the truth, is if we aren't, we have to get rid of our fear to die, and we have to get rid of our fear to go to jail.
Right. Yeah.
We're moving too scared.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know we've been through a lot, but we have to. They know we're not gonna unify to the point where I'm gonna die for this man I don't know, or that man or that sister. You know what I'm saying? They know we're not gonna do it. So they keep pressing us. So they keep doing stuff. They keep beating us up in the street. The police keep hurting us and doing what they're doing and shooting at us. They're going to keep doing it because they know we're going to film it. We're going to go outside and shake our fists a little bit. And then we're going to go back in the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, is there any kind of way that we can provide self-defense classes, you know, especially for the women and children in our community?
Yeah, there is. But that once again comes with, you know, us as black people starting that. You know, I know my soldiers. You know, we make sure we can handle situations. You know, and like I said, that may be a pro or a con, but we risk our life all the time. You know, we don't know if we coming home after we leave out the house. We don't know if we're gonna see our kids again. We just stood there face to face with police yesterday. You know what I mean? These are things that you know we do on a regular, and we do it just because we love our people.
Right.
You know, a lot of people, and it's hard to find people that want to fight this fight.
Yeah.
Most of them get into a comfortable position. You know, I got my job. You know, I got a certain amount of money. Them problems ain't my problems. You know, we run into that. Then we got some that are hurting so bad they can't really help the movement. You know, they're just down so bad. They just, you know, it's almost like they just need him. You know what I'm saying? So they it's hard for them to even add anything to the movement. So you have to almost find that happy medium, you know. But it's very a very scary process when you really look at it. Yeah. But we have to stop being scared to die. One of my records that I had wrote is called "A Beautiful Day to Die," and I always say that every day is a beautiful day to die. Every day. Because as long as you're dying for the right thing and you pointing at the right thing, I mean, you going out for something good. You ain't going out, you know, just for some
then you're not
bullshit.
Right. Losing that.
Yeah. Be remember forever. You know, for something you stood for and something that was really in your heart. You know, so I say that all the time. You know, and yeah.
And why do you think that there is I guess a fear or phobia when it comes to black people with defending themselves, especially with using firearms? You know what I mean? Because it's like so many of us, regardless of what we see on TV, so many of us fear guns. Like, oh, well, I don't want no gun, I don't want it in my house, this and this and that. But it's like, but if something happens,
right,
you know, you could try to call the police. They might be 15 minutes away.
I'm telling
you. You know what I mean?
If they show up.
Yeah. Right. And it's like, you know, somebody coming to do you harm, they're not going to wait 15 minutes. They're going to come in, be in and out.
Quick.
I mean? And so it's like, you know, why do you think we're more scared of keeping them to defend ourselves?
Yeah.
As opposed to just, you know, just having them, period. But, you know, wonder where that phobia comes from.
It has a lot of I'd say a few different places. You know, one, we're scared of going to jail. We're scared of that needle. You know, black people, we always go by accident. We don't, you know, ain't nobody trying to get locked up for real, but you know, we
hey, that's why would be so devastating.
Right? Yeah. Like, hey, know you was doing bad, but you're surprised still. Like,
this is the last one.
Yeah,
they
got me. You know, so you know, we don't. We scared to go to the jail, and you know you pop somebody too high up, you get in the needle or something. You know, your life is at risk, and you know a lot of us have just gotten very comfortable. You know, we survivors. You know, we survived so much. We've been through so much.
That's it.
Some people, you know, it's a religious thing. You know, some people feel like you know God's got them and that's it. They don't need nothing else.
Yeah, I appreciate that thought, but you know what? And I grew up in the church, man, and my thought is, you know, I understand God is protecting me, but if you come in here playing, you're going to see Him before I will. And tell Him I said how we get there.
And the gun is a tool. You know, it's almost as if it's your hand. You know, it's an extended version. It's a tool. And it's almost like a pit bull. You get a pit bull, you can have one that's mean as hell. You can have one that's just a straight, nice little cupcake pit bull. I've seen them, you know, play with them, throw them around. They don't do that to you, you know. Then you got the ones that's gonna nearly jump the gate and kill you, you know. But it's all about how you're trained and who you are as a person and what you're gonna use it for. And like I said, when you know your rights and you know that's your protection. You ain't out here just trying to maim and hurt nobody. Right. You know, but somebody come and try to kill you, you're going to protect yourself. Whether you punching them, whether you stabbing them. Yeah, because those same people out here say, well, I'll pick up a bat, a stick, or, you know, whatever. Look, get a gun. Because I don't know what you're going to do with that bat when that dude could come in there with that, whatever he got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
or that cop.
Yeah, exactly.
He ain't coming in there with his nice thing.
Right, he ain't playing. He ain't Barney Fight. He ain't got his bullet in his pocket. You know?
Look, as black people, we're already labeled as a threat.
Absolutely.
And you can be the sweetest, lovable person in the world. But just because you're black, you're a threat.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you know, we have a lot of reasons why we kind of stay away from that, and you know, a lot of people feel they just don't want to hurt anyone, and you know, I get it, but no, I'm not that kind of guy. Right. If you're coming to hurt me and harm me, I don't know what to tell you. You know, hey, God bless, but you out of here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is.
I have children that love me. I have a mother that loves me. You know, and I love them.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys got bro? You got anything?
Let's see.
I knew you got a lot over there.
Yeah,
something too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's get it.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The average person may automatically, and I think you spoke on this a little earlier, may think, you know, the Black Panthers are combative, you know, angry, you know. Do you consider that to be accurate? How would you clarify that?
Like I said, there's a whole there's a lot of formations. You may see one that's out there pissed off about something, and that catches that news clip. You may see that, and that's all they're gonna show. So yeah, from the perception of what they're showing, it looks like that.
Right.
You know, but you know, I talk to you know, brothers and sisters from all formations, and you know, the leaders of those formations and different things like that, and we all have the same goal at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, we all love our people and really want, you know, our people to rise up, and, you know, the whole 9 yards. You know, of course, you still in that mix will have certain ones that are clout chasers and just doing it for, you know, for the book or something.
Right.
You know? But for the most part, you know, you can kind of differentiate who's really out there and putting in work and really doing something, you know, and I think those things matter. They matter a lot. So did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, pretty much. Also, do you have to be any particular? Do you have to have any particular spiritual beliefs? Do you have to be Christian, Muslim? Could you clarify that
for our organization? I speak for our organization. No, you don't have to have any particular belief system. The way we do it is, I don't care what you believe in personally. That's your soul. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whether you believe aliens pick it up, whether you believe it go into the mud and don't never do nothing. You know, whether you believe you gonna see whoever you gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Like that's between, you know, you and whoever you
believe.
Right. Yeah, it don't matter. What I don't want to do, I don't like the separation. Even in the communities, you know, I don't like that the Protestants might not work with the Baptists, the Muslims might not work with the Christians, the Catholics don't work with, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one thing is Black people that has divided us. There's so many different divisional factors, and I don't want that to be one of them. You know, as long as you're really about your Black people succeeding and wanting to make it, that's what's important.
Okay. So, how important are women to the movement and the cause, and how does their involvement help, you know, strengthen, and not just the movement but also the community also?
Well, women have, first of all, before the cause, have held us down, and I talk about this all the time in public, has held us down since the beginning of time. Okay, women have always had our backs, even when we slack off and don't have theirs. If you look at the Panthers of the Black Panther Party for self-defense in 1966, there was more women than anything. Lots of women, lots of them. They are very motivated, organized, organized as hell, dedicated, you know, and they're strong. You know, they go hard as hell. You know, when we get sick as men, you know, we tall up babies. Yeah, they still be there, sniffling, right? Sniffling, you know. So their role is extremely important, extremely, you know, and also I love for the other young queens in the community to be able to see, you know, strong women as well. I've always been an advocate for strong women, you know. I think it's dope.
Right.
I do.
I feel like what you said, they held us down since the beginning of time, so that's why we gotta hold them high.
Absolutely.
We're obligated to hold them up high.
Yes.
And put them on that pedestal.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad she work your nerve, you have to put her up.
And even not the ones we're with, but the ones we don't know.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't know as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know, whatever you may think, that's a Black queen, that's a Black woman.
Right.
If you see her in any type of danger, turmoil, whatever, it's your duty to do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just let her be out there like that's crazy. To me, it's madness when you know. But that comes from when we're looking at our men as, you know, niggas and We say that on here. We say
Yeah.
We look at when we look at our men as that and our women as bitches, and hoes or whatever the case may be.
Right.
We can't continue to have that mindset. We can't keep calling ourselves things, and I've seen it. We make up all these different, it's niggas, and in Africa they said this. Look, man.
Yeah. You know what it means when you say it now.
What Samuel L. Jackson say? Just because you pour syrup on shit, don't make it pancakes. What is that? You know what I'm saying? So you can't just change stuff. And I tell people it's like taking the swastika and just saying, even though we know where that symbol comes from, I get that, but we know what that stands for.
Right.
Why would you go get that?
Now we know what it is.
Yeah, would you go get it put tattooed on your chest or something? Like black people is doing some weird shit these days. Confederate flags rocking. Nah, I don't care if they say it's heritage. Ain't no damn heritage. You know what the heritage was? Your ass in a tree. That's what the heritage was. What are you talking about? It baffles me.
Flying right next to the flag.
Right.
You flying, the flag flying.
Yeah. I don't understand it, man. And there's certain things I just don't do for money. I just, Kanye, the little shitty. I don't understand shit like that. You are mentally fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
We've already established that. Hey, you can't do nothing but pray for Kanye. Yeah.
Right. And see, that's why Malcolm said. He said, our entertainers and things, they don't look at them to be leaders. Don't look at them because they can only go so far.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I look at that even when I look at people that are funded by the government. You can only go so far.
Right.
You see, and that's why they have issues with me, because I have a certain freedom that I'm not held by none of that.
Right.
You're not gonna get me to bend and do these weird different things because you can take something from me or none of. You don't fund me.
Yeah.
You don't give me no building. You don't give me no vehicles, no nothing. There's nothing you can take besides my freedom, and you already got that. So. Shit, it's on. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what I'm worried, I ain't really worried about nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's a difference.
I'm glad you brought that up too, man. How you feel about when you see black leaders sell out?
What would we call selling out?
The ones who you may say, they may appear like they're down for the cause, but then you may see them and it's like.
They playing
the game. Yeah, it's like, okay, you say you're down for this here, but we know over here you're being paid by, like you said, you may be working for the government or something, and they just kind of, using you to kind of steer us off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how you feel about that when you see stuff like that?
It's that's one of the things that kind of it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like. I feel sorry for him, really, because I wonder what happened to you to make you just, you literally can't look in the mirror. You gotta walk around with a mask on all day. Like, that's what you basically doing. A lot of our brothers get into politics, and some of them do have initially a great agenda. Stuff starts to happen. I don't know. Yeah, they get
start putting that money
right. Yeah, they get flipped. Next thing you know, they doing the whole song and dance and whatever. So I see that sometimes, but then sometimes the ones that are real, they most of the time they don't even make it. They don't get voted for and things like that because they're truly trying to help.
Right.
And why would they elect somebody that's gonna really help someone they're trying to oppress? It really doesn't make sense. You have to play the game and get dirty a little bit in order to make things happen. I mean, I'm sure some of them are able to make it through and do some good work. I don't know, but I'm not about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not my lane. You know what I mean? I choose not to deal with that. And I see even there's activists that do that sometimes, and it's sad. Because you've actually you giving up your soul, your people, just for whatever personal shit you're getting or whatever it is. It's almost like how we should look at them how we look at snitches.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
Because they're doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
They're getting personal gain and selling out a group of people.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, they're like, well, I'm straight.
But
right.
Y'all.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that stems from that old standard. If you can't beat them, join them. You know, so they get scared out of fear, and they're like, hey, I can't win this, so I might as well go and join forces.
Yeah.
Then at that point, you ain't nothing but a slave.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, even though we're already slaves, you know.
But they walk around with that false facade.
Right.
And you'll see all the, chest out, and, they'll talk that talk, that revolutionary talk and that rhetoric, but when it comes down to it and you look at what's really going on behind the scenes and some of the things they're doing, it's extremely sad, and it also hurts us. It doesn't just hurt, just from seeing it, but the black people that are trying to follow these individuals, or it gets to where they don't trust anyone. Because now they see certain people that have just lied and not held their word and whatnot. And it gets to the point where it's just like, well, I'm just going to, not trust none of them. So then that's why, when you look at us now, we don't have the leaders that we used to have, technically, to where they would have the oh my God Bible, like a Malcolm X or, different
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King. We used to have to where it was just worldwide, this guy, that guy, whatever. But now there's so much shiftiness in the game that people are just like, nah, I ain't following nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know who to follow. I don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the government played a part in that also.
Absolutely.
Of course, especially with and I always look at it like, I think they made it so that we are more scared to stand up for ourselves now. Like if you look at things like Black Wall Street, how they bombed it.
Yeah.
How they bombed Philly in '82.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The things like that. Anything we try to build, basically they destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that could be a problem, amongst us as we see that, or how they used to do back in the slavery times when they would buck break and stuff like that. They would bring the women and children out.
Let them watch.
And the mothers would say, well, I don't want that to happen to my son.
Right.
The kids get scared, things like that. So do you think, I guess that has created like a similar form of modern day buck breaking? And we see like the police now, attacking black men and things like that.
Yeah. And one thing, I did a lecture one time where I went through the timeline and I showed them that slavery wasn't over. Literally, it's just been renamed and redesigned maybe 3 times. Yeah. 3 times over.
Right. Modified.
Yeah. That's all they've done is changed it. But I mean, if you go from those slave times and you go to black codes and then Jim Crow and then the penal system and the school to prison pipelines and all those different things, once you go through all that, you'll realize that it's the same thing. It's the same thing. What it says in the amendment, you're allowed to be, slavery is still legal
in the prison system.
As long as you're convicted of a crime. Yeah. So you're still, that's why they work for no wages. Certain groups will have companies that work in the prison system, and what happens is you can work for them. Say, I know Victoria's Secret used to be one, and there's a slew of other ones. But you may work for them in the prison system, and you'll be able to learn a trade and do all these different things. Right. When you get out, they won't hire you because you're a felon, which is crazy. You might have 10 years of experience. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they ain't going to hire you. Can work for them in there because it's free labor. Yeah. But when you get out, they ain't going to give you a job, you see. But, there's things like that we need to recognize and realize and teach our children so that they can not get hit with these hurdles.
And what do you think has created so much of the glamorization of the prison life now? Like, if you see it, people so like, oh man, well, I don't care if I go to jail and do this and that. And it's like, do you realize that this is not where you want to end up? That's not cool. Right. You know what I mean? And especially, like you said, amongst our youth now, like, people made it seem like it's so cool, like the cool thing to do. Like, what do you think that has stemmed from also?
I think, once again, it's an easier out. It's an easier give up. Instead of becoming something, right? It's easier just to say, I have a rep. Like to build a reputation on moral conduct and etiquette and things of that nature takes a long time. That's a lifetime of work. You know what I'm saying? To be a stand-up, outstanding guy, or female. It's easy to grab a pack, do it. I mean, I know there's complications, but it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to do, you know, robberies or whatever you do. Get money, flash out, look rich before you're really rich, and, you know, do the whole 9 yards. You know, as we you see some of black people, before we get into into the money, we'd rather look like we got the money, you know, and things like that. And next thing you know, we're in a predicament, and we're in the prison system. So those things are easy to do, but now you have this rep, because you see when a lot of people come from the pen, that's what they talk about, that's what they brag about, you know, and some of them have taken that and made it into a positive, you know, and they've made books and different things of that nature.
Also, I believe it personifies a false pretense of strength.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, you go to prison, all of a sudden you come out, you hard now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They look at it like it's an accomplishment, like you done came from college or something.
Well, look, I don't know what you did when you was in there.
Right. Right.
Well, look, I got a friend of mine, man, and I used to call him my brother.
Okay.
Until he, you know, he deceived me. But he always wanted to tell a story when I was in prison. Like, what are you looking to gain from that?
Right.
You know.
Right.
Look, hey, I served time, but I don't want nobody to know that. I don't go around broadcasting that. You know what I mean?
And if you have a story to tell that can keep somebody from going in those, that's a great thing.
Be a testimony.
I don't want to make it like I'm downing people that come out of, but you know, there's a way to handle it. You know, and I think that, you know, we as a people glamorize the prison system, and I think the way it's done, it makes it easy to do so. Because say I see you, I don't know, when I'm a young kid, and you know you're a little older, you go to prison. I see you again 10 years later. You come out buff, swole, everybody celebrating. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see the pain that you went through in that prison. Right. I don't see what happened in the people you had to fight, or the soups you had to constantly trade and all that. I don't see that. You know what I mean? I don't get to see that. All I know is you went in, you came out, and everybody love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you don't get to see those things, see, if you almost look at it, you know, I know people talk about it, say it might be barbaric, but if you look at like some of the Middle Eastern places or the Muslim countries, you know, they do punishments in public, or a lot of times, you know, not all of them, but some of them do, and back in the days they used to. So the reason they did that was, say you stole something, all right? Yeah, the hand come off and everybody see it. Now everybody to see your hand gone, all for the rest of the time, no, he stole something. Now they do allow that person to immediately integrate back into society, and they do that because now that child doesn't lose a father. You see what I'm saying? Right. This way, the way we do it, seems more humane, but that child loses a father, then he's out there by himself, and then his child will probably lose his father, because it becomes a chain reaction. Yeah. So yeah, it's a thing where, well, yeah, only humane compared to that. You know, they look at it, you know, from the perspective. Yeah, but so you have, you know, the countries over there that do stuff like that, and they allow the family to still stay intact. See, our families get broken up, and that's a big issue. You know, our families are constantly broken up with a lot of different things. So when that happens, I think it allows us to, you know, kind of more or less glorify it and you know, do as we do.
Yeah. And I also want to add to that too. I think the movies and things that we see at entertainment play that role, because you know, you see a lot of jail movies. They don't really show the downside of what happened. You'll see the dude, or you know, he went to jail, he ran this, he was this boss and this and that, and you know, he came home and he had millions of dollars in the bank, and that's not the reality for a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people come home and they
with that sack, and that's it.
They struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they lose 20, 30 years, and people think like, oh, well, you know, that's nothing. But I'm like, imagine getting locked up in 80, and you come home in 2000, and they got cell phones, and flat screen TVs. You're like, yo, I've never seen this stuff before.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and not to mention now, people glorifying the prison meals.
Who doing that?
I see it on TV. Y'all see it, right? On social media, man. They got the white people in there. They done switch the names up, but they're like, yo, that's the same exact thing. What
I don't know what's going on with their palate.
I'm like, yo, that's not nothing I want to really eat, you know, on the regular.
Yeah, he can't stand them noodles, man.
But yeah, so I got probably about 2 more questions for you.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So, you know, I know you did mention that you are former military.
Mm.
I was also. You know what I'm saying? Now,
thank you both for your service.
Yeah, man.
Now we understand guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a theory. I believe that if our black children were introduced to guns at a younger age and learn proper handling, self-defense and stuff like that, that will actually curb their urge to want to just use guns and terrorize people as they get older. How do you feel about that? Do you think that will help them?
I teach mine off top.
You know,
yeah, look, fighting and everything, you know. But it builds confidence, and it also lets them know the true dangers of it. It's not a mystery. It's not something that's foreign to them, where they're getting sitting and playing with it, and oh my God, pow, you know. I've taught my child to unload, load, and all that type of stuff, because it's important. And if you stumble upon one, how to safety it or leave it alone, call the police, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you know what to do with it, because just imagine a kid that don't. You know, just walk up on it and decide that, dang, is it real? Is it not? You don't know how to unload it, or maybe it's cocked and you don't know how to. You know, you got one in the chamber, but they don't know that. They
playing with their friends like, look,
right. You know, they may even unload it. They might unload it, but that one is still in the chamber. And they're like, nah, I unloaded it.
They don't know about
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they don't know that. So I think being familiar with it is much better than just not knowing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
also because white people do it.
Man, I was about to say that.
Yeah, they start.
They go hunting at 7,
5,
man.
6, 7. Yeah, they got a little. Got their little whole outfit and everything. You know what I'm saying? So they look at us like we criminals when we do it or something. Like, oh, you raising thugs, you raising gangbangers.
You got a gun, but little Timmy got an AR. He out there hunting deer and elk and all this other stuff.
We should definitely do it.
Okay.
And all with a scope on it.
Yeah.
And so also, I want to ask, when it comes to like balancing your personal life with being a general, how do you go about that? Because sometimes we get into things, it's hard to turn that off. But when you go in the house, you're like, okay, I'm no longer general, and I have to be daddy, or I have to be husband, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that something hard to do, or how do you balance that out?
It can be extremely hard. It can be extremely hard. Arguments happen all the time. Because I'm extremely busy. I would love to be able to spend more time, and I don't even see my children as much. But it almost is like, well, you out here helping the world, but you gotta. But so yeah. And I remember one person had told me when we first started. I went to a shop, and the queen had told me, don't do so much that you lose, out on, your personal life.
Right.
And I was like, that's exactly what happened. To be able to do this work and be dedicated to it, and really do those things that are needed, and put the time in that's needed. Sacrifices must be made, and that's to say that I would sacrifice, my family, my children, little girl, and nothing like that. But it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like not purposely, but you're just working and you're trying to get the job done. You're trying to make sure that people are good and okay as much as possible. And then with running all the different chapters and things like that, it's a nonstop thing. The phone just doesn't stop. And then you're scared to turn it off because you may miss that one person that's being attacked out there or whatever. So it becomes a thing where it's like, man, I haven't took a break in 4 years. I ain't really, I can't, it's just so much going on. I'm gonna have to find a time to take a little.
So, and one thing about that queen, she gonna keep your crown straight.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Keep your crown straight.
Yeah. Correct you every chance. You know, you messing up too much, or she gonna let you know. Yeah. Yeah. She gonna let you know. She gonna be up on your neck. What you doing? What are you doing?
Talk in the car.
Right.
So I have one last question. I have a ton, but I'm gonna check this last one. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, brother. Hey, what's good for the people? You know what I mean? You got me here. I'm with you. So you know, let me know.
We're gonna hang you back too.
Okay.
So are the militia more obscure behind the scenes nowadays to be more political? Do you think it could be more effective that way?
You talking about our organization or all militias?
All militias.
See, I
don't speak on yours.
Yeah, because I know different ones have different objectives
Right.
on how they carry out and do different things. But us personally, we are really in tune with the community. We almost grassroots to where we like to get in there and be there as much as possible. Yeah. We you have certain ones that kind of sit and just wait for war and do things like that.
Right.
You have certain ones that just you have some that just sit on Facebook and say I'm part of this and nothing ever happens. Nothing.
Right.
They don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? You have those, but then us personally, I know we are consistently always out in the community.
Right.
The people need it.
Right.
They really need it, and they need the help. And we work with other organizations sometimes too, where because a lot of people will say, where the Panthers at? Where we need. It takes more than just the Panthers. It takes more than just the original Black Panther Militia. It takes more than that. It really takes the whole community to really come together and say, I'm tired of this. And I know some of them are and don't have a plan of what to do. So we have different initiatives and things that I would love to implement, but we really need the community. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't just do it by ourselves. We can't just, there's a lot of things that are destroying our community. So we need the help. But all in all, us personally, we're grassroots, and we like to be right in there, face to face with the community, and doing a lot of things to actually help out in that community.
Right. So, do y'all actually, train and organize yourselves as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do that, and we make sure. I got. What's up, King? I got a couple, guys that are just real proficient in certain things. I got some queens that are just that'll tear somebody's head off. Beautiful. Nice. I mean, I'm talking about nice. Nice. Yeah, I got one. One.
Yeah.
That she didn't put bruises. She kicked so hard, bro. Yeah, she kicked hard. I got one that
she on the front line.
Oh yeah. She nasty with the kicks. I got this other brother. His uppercut is vicious. But I'm like, yeah. But I love it. And as far as weapons training, we got to do all that because we got to be ready for anything possible, and anything could happen at any time. So. It's and like I said, even if you're not a part of a group like this, like we were talking about earlier, I think it is very, very important, and it's imperative that any and every Black person that can possibly protect themselves with some type of firearm get one. Yeah. Because even felons, they don't even let them wear vests. You can't even walk around with a vest on.
Right.
No weapon, just the vest is wrong.
You just out there.
Yeah, you just out there, So, what people don't realize is, and like we were talking about with the whole prison system and things like that, once you get into this system and they disarm you, you can't even protect yourself. You can't defend yourself. You can't defend your people. Right. Not legally. You see what I'm saying? Right. So these are all things that are in play.
That's basically a natural law to protect yourself.
Right, and they can't even have that.
Yeah.
See, I think that after a person does their time, that should be it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You should be able to have your full rights back because you're counted as a person. You should be able to vote, and I know you can in certain places, but you should have those rights back. You should be able to protect yourself. Right. Why shouldn't you? You're with your family. You're at home. Why not? So yeah.
like I stated before, is to keep us down, is to keep us at the bottom of that totem pole.
Absolutely.
You know, but speaking on that, my whole family has guns. My grandmother, 80 years old.
There you go.
She keeps a gun.
There you go.
Ever since I was a child.
Granny on point. Granny on point.
She keeps a gun. Look,
right.
She got a 357 mag.
Ooh.
She don't play.
Hey,
she don't play.
She got a nice arm on her. She shooting with that. I know them whoopings was crazy. She holding that down. Yeah, good God. Hey.
I seen her take a dog out. I tell you, take a dog out. He had rabies. He wouldn't let us out the house.
Ooh, cool Joe.
We was going to church. We was going to church. That dog was on the porch. That dog wouldn't let us out the house. She said, "Hold on a minute." She went in that bag, got that gun, tore the frame out of there.
Dang.
Tore him out the frame.
Oh, cool Joe.
Yeah. He was done.
Oh, cool Joe just needed a shot.
Yeah.
I told you to go, bro. I told you.
Yeah.
So,
Good God.
yeah.
Oh man. And so with that, I thought I only had one more question, but I got quite a few here.
You all right?
You know, definitely the gun. I guess the Second Amendment, which is the gun laws, have been basically on the table a lot, man. Like that's what a lot of the politicians are running with. And then when things happen, you know, that's the first thing they want to attack. Do you actually think that stricter gun laws will help, like, minimize unnecessary violence? Did I say that right? Minimize unnecessary violence.
I mean, it might minimize it, but you got to realize most of the violence are coming from guns that aren't illegal anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So, we gotta really look at this now. Let's take it back, right?
Let's go ahead.
When you had black codes, right? When we had black codes, that was their the first way of them trying to disarm black people, because we had to get special permits and things strictly for being black to own a weapon. First of all, right? So after black codes, excuse me, there was a time when the NRA, right? They actually stood for gun control, right? Y'all remember the Mulford Act, right? The Mulford Act, 1967. All right, so you had the Black Panther Party for self-defense following around police and, you know, carrying weapons. So they didn't like that. You know, the government didn't like that. So what they did was, we need to come up with a plan. So they got the NRA to back the Mulford Act, which would take away your right to carry firearms.
Oh wow!
You see what I'm saying? And out in the public. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And they did that directly because the Black Panthers were carrying firearms.
Yeah, y'all scared them.
Right. And then you had the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense that went in California to the state building. And they say it was about 30 of them. There's pictures of it, and they went with the weapons. Well, that kind of ended up backfiring on them a little bit, because they were saying that
the movies.
Yeah. And they were saying that, you know, Bobby Seale was saying that, you know, all black people need to arm themselves, right? This now is the time, right? Well, what ended up happening with this act being in already, you know, or being put into play, they wanted that made sure it went through. You know what I'm saying? So it went through to disarm black people once again, and Ronald Reagan backed that as well, and the NRA backed that. The NRA also did it in 1920 and 1930, where they didn't want European immigrants carrying weapons through the streets. So they did it again earlier. You see what I'm saying? So there has been times where it's not like now, where they just open and say they don't want no restrictions on, you know, people carrying weapons. See, when we had, like they say, it's not no fun when a rabbit got the gun, you know. So they looked at it when black people had the guns and different things. Now they want to go up in arms and say, oh, no, we can't have this. Now all of a sudden, when it starts affecting everybody and everybody's liberties, theirs, the government's the white boys, you know. When it started affecting their liberties, all of a sudden, oh no, we can't have restrictions. Hold on, let's rethink this. Right.
See, they did the same thing in the '80s with the drugs. They put the drugs in our community.
Yep.
Then when they entered their communities, they was like, hold up.
They told us just say no. Remember?
Right.
All the commercials
now, see,
and stuff.
That's the thing. Now, they need to put this in school. This is the sad thing. This isn't in school because now, you know, I talked to some, you know, different people, some black people and some white people, and they think it's more of a it's a conspiracy. Like this is one of them things that you just find on YouTube that people talk about. No, the CIA, FBI, they flooded our neighborhoods with drugs.
Yes,
that is a fact.
I mean, if they just listen to people like Freeway Ricky talk, he tells you, yo, I got my
You ain't
drugs
gotta listen to
from
them.
these guys.
You can look up the FBI file on Google.
Yeah.
There's
You can look it all up
files.
and read
Yeah,
it.
the file is there. If you can read the file on J. Edgar Hoover and COINTELPRO, and he in his files tells you how he tried to destroy every black power, or even the white ones that were helping black people. Destroy them too.
Yeah.
Whatever. We are not gonna have nobody black rising up in power. And his whole game plan was to destroy it. That was his whole initiative with COINTELPRO. So and these are documents you can just look up. But we don't. They won't teach that in the school. They won't say anything about it.
Yeah,
they don't want you to. Yeah, they don't want to want you looking at it and saying, well, this happened because, this, that, and the third. They don't want you to know about redlining. They don't want you knowing about that and why we can't get business loans and things of that nature. Because those business loans, were only subjected to the places. I forget the name of the act that came out, but the business loans were allowed for everybody, except for these places in these red places, which were the only places we were allowed to live. That's called redlining. And so therefore, when we were living in these places, we, which was now we call the ghetto, the hood, or whatever.
They gentrifying.
Right. We're not allowed to get the business loans. You see what I'm saying? So we were denied generational wealth. We were denied business loans and things of that nature. So, and this is recent. This isn't like, way back in the days, like, oh, y'all have been through this. Why can't y'all come up and pull yourself up? No.
This is currently going on. That's why, when I hear people say, oh, well, why don't y'all just get it like we did? It's like, yo, it's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You hear a lot of foreigners say that.
Yeah.
And see, but they get a lot of different special perks that we don't get because we can't identify as foreign.
Right. Amount of years,
Right.
all this stuff.
Business loans and all that.
And even when they move here from different countries, they're given a fund.
Yes.
They're given a living fund.
Their countries, some of the countries give them money to come here and do stuff.
Yeah, we don't get none of that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so my last question for you is, hold up, I just had it. Oh yeah, what do you see, or what do you hope to happen for our community in the future?
Good question.
You know what I mean? That's
Good
like,
question.
See some of the changes that we can hopefully start moving towards a better future especially for our youth, man.
The main change before anything that I can hope for is the mentality. I think if the mentality changes, everything changes. The mentality is what's killing us.
Yeah.
The things we talk about, the self-preservation, selling out for the money, whatever it is. I think those are the things that are killing us. I mean, if you look at places like Haiti and places that fought for the freedom, they don't, it didn't matter that they ended up poor or whatever. They fought for what they got. You see, like we were talking about earlier with us not owning stuff and how that happened with integration and things like that. Yeah. Well, they went backwards. Like forget this living like this and being held in a certain standard. No, we want our freedom.
Yeah.
So let's live free. Might be poor, but we're free. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And things like that. We have to look at different examples of us black people that have done that and nations that have done that. But if our mentality doesn't change, we're gonna forever be in some type of bind, and we're gonna. I just hate fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? I hate when you have to fight your own people sometimes.
Because that's the hardest fight to fight.
It is. It is.
And look, it makes it just that much harder because we got to fight our own people and fight the world.
Yeah.
And everyone else that's against us.
Yep. That's what's hard. I've seen some black people that would rather hire this white guy because they feel they'll do the job better or do it right. Or you go to a black owned business and you want all these discounts and different things like that. You wouldn't ask that white dude for no discount. You go to his sub shop, you just gonna get the sub. You know what I mean? But you go to the black shop, you want the hookup.
I don't know about you. I'm asking the white man for a discount. I'm asking the black man for a discount.
You say you just gonna cover the board all along.
I need that
See,
discount.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Especially that white man.
There you go. You owe
me
us.
and my people. I need that. I need that. Yeah.
But yeah, I see that, you know, that's one of the things I would like to change, the mentality. And you know, I think if we can do that, which is, you know, tough. But like as Pac said, you know, we always talk about this. One teach two, two teach three, three teach four, and them teach more. You know, so I always listen to that in my head, and because you get a little discouraged sometimes. You know, when you walk around, feel like you're fighting uphill. But when you can see that one, you know, or that one child, or that one, you know, and they like, yeah, you know, you really made a difference in my life, or you changed something, or you know, whatever. That means the world to me. You know what I mean? That means the world.
Man, there's always strength in numbers.
Yes.
Strength in numbers, people.
Absolutely.
Strength in numbers.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I have, man. You got any more questions?
Yeah.
Knock 'em down.
Shirt and a mask. How can I get one? Do I have to join?
Well,
Do I have to be a part?
that's a good question. That's a good question. As far as those shirts, those particular ones, those are yeah, you got to join to wear them.
Okay.
But we do have some for everybody that want to support. We, you know, the white ones with the black logo. So
Okay.
yeah, it's still a dope joint.
Indeed.
And yeah, masks as well. So we can definitely we'll definitely make that happen.
Okay.
You guys, you know.
And then once again, if anyone's interested in, you know, recruitment.
Yeah, definitely hit us up, 757-214-2098. That's 757-214-2098. It doesn't matter where you're at, where you're located, talk to me. We can make things happen. And on Facebook, you're going to definitely hit me up at Mike Payne, that's Pain. Everything else is good gracious. What's the Facebook group page?
Black Panthers OBPM Virginia.
Black Panthers OBPM Virginia, and everything else is Original Black Panther Militia. Even if you go to www.originalblackpanther.com, you can get us from there too. So yeah, there's very many avenues. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely appreciate you coming up here today, General, taking the time out to this schedule to talk with us. Once again,
hey, I appreciate y'all having me.
I am your favorite cousin.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm the KYD.
There we go.
On the BNT podcast. We are out. See y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Later.